All right. Hello, hello. David, it is awesome to see you. I haven't seen you in a while. I know you've been trying to get a hold of me. I think you're on mute if you want to talk. Still on mute. Dane, how are you? I emailed you this morning, so it's good to see you.
Pretty good, pretty good. Good to be here.
Nice. Tiki, it's been like a week since I've talked to you, or maybe.
Yeah.
Nice.
See you.
Yeah. Robert, Donna, Tim. Got two Tims on here. Steve, it is awesome to see you guys. Well, this is a lot of fun. So let's start off with some wins for the week. I know we're going to have some more people straggling in or coming in. Anybody got some exciting news in the last week that's happened in their business or personal life? Like you had a grandchild or you had a kid or you got married, anything fun going on? Nothing? Like no rain in Seattle? Is that like good news or something, Tiki? Or Portland? You're in Portland, right?
Yeah, no rain.
We're actually
for that.
I still have my lanyard on. We're at the Pro Green Convention in Denver, and holy moly, it was like 4 below zero when I showed up here. And I'm from Arizona. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's freezing. You got to be kidding me, right?
Sure.
Yeah, Angela's here with us at the show, and holy camoli, it was so cold. I'm ready to get out of here. So we got some people on here for the first time, right? Raise your hand first time. Dane, I think you're first time on here. Tiki, David, nice. Robert, you've been on here before, right? Tim, you've been on before, right? All right. So we are going to, do you want to tease them, Angela, with what we're going to start next week, or should we wait for that for the end?
Maybe let's wait for the end.
Okay. Yeah, we got some really cool stuff coming next week. Yeah, let's get right into it. So I'm in a couple business groups that, a lot of times we like to share information, like to collaborate, right? And one of my favorite things is that when we get together some of these groups, some guys offer it's like a strobe light outside. I think there's an alarm or something. It's freaking me out. Guys like to offer like ideas that have generated $10,000 or $20,000 or more in their business. And as years have gone on, I've been in a couple of these groups, I write them all down, and some of them are just like fantastic ideas. Like a really simple one is spend less money, right? Save money and raise your prices. That's like duh, right? But we could get more specific on that and actually really find stuff that's measurable and you can implement in your business. Chris, it's good to see you today. This is a regular. It's awesome to have you here. How's your weather in where are you? You're in Kansas, right? Oklahoma.
Yeah. Well, Wichita, Kansas. Yeah. Sorry, I couldn't figure out how to take it off of mute.
All right. Good to see you. So yeah, we got kind of a good group of people here. We're going to go over some ideas. I'll start with an idea, one that I really like, and then I'd like to go around the room. If you guys don't think of one or don't have one, just pass or whatnot. But like it could be anything. Like some guys have sent out mailers and have knocked it out of the park. Now it works for some businesses and some businesses it doesn't. I was talking with a guy, a landscaper here at this trade show just a couple hours ago, and he says he does the value pack. He literally said he gets 20, man, it was more than that. It was like 200 times his ROI. Like he's like, man, I spend like $2,000 and I literally get, $20,000 to $40,000 of work out of that. So that's pretty cool, right? But that doesn't work in every business. I think like in your business, Dane, your window cleaning and pressure washing, I know many years ago I tried like the value pack one time, but it didn't really attract the customers I was wanting, right? I didn't want people to be like, oh, I got 6 windows. Can I have that for 50% off? No, thank you, right? So anyway, I'm gonna look at my notes really quick. So give me a second. I had one. I've got a couple. All right. So this is one that I really like. is getting connected with a local charity. So in all the businesses we're in, right? Even like Chris, you're in the roofing business. You can connect or hook up with a local charity and offer services for free. Now, when you offer whatever services, it doesn't even have to be roofing, right? It could be something else that, you're good at, or, you have your contractor's license. Like for my business, we could do free window cleaning for, like a children's hospital, something that's free. I mean, that's big dollars. But when you do it, you get publicity out of it. You call the news station and you call the newspaper and say, hey, this business is doing free services for this charity. And, it's fantastic. So you probably get a free commercial out of it. You land on the news, and then you get a newspaper article on it. And then the people that you're working with within the charity, they're going to recommend your company to all their friends and family and their neighbors. They're going to be like, these guys are amazing. So that's my $10,000 idea. I know someone who actually did that. They ended up generating, I think she told me that she ended up generating about $70,000 or $80,000. So that's pretty impressive, right? Anybody like that idea? Does that sound like a good idea? Who wants to go next?
I did pretty much the same thing you just said.
Oh, nice.
Offering a free roof to like elderly or somebody who's in need, or military. And yeah, it's definitely a good thing to do. It's great advertisement.
How did you figure out who you were giving the free roof to?
Oh gosh. We did a raffle.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's more designed like a raffle. So, and then the money would be turned around and given back to that same person as well. Whoever won the roof. So in some cases it was determined upon the city verifying, who out there might need some help, who's looking to try to get help, etc. And then the military one is that one there's kind of a hit and miss. It's hard to determine who's in the military, who's not, but you just put it out there and you see who might recommend somebody who's in the service. Maybe they're active and they're away, they're not here right now, and it's just the wife or vice versa, and they need a new roof, and that and somehow or another we just kind of get it narrowed down, and that's the one that gets the roof.
Wow, that's fantastic. I mean, you could draw that out for like a whole month and put ads in the newspaper and nominate somebody who needs a roof, and someone's gonna win a free roof. Wow, that's great.
Yeah, you try to get the suppliers in on that as well. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't.
Yeah, that makes sense. Or at least cut the costs down a little bit, right?
Right.
Wow, I like that. Well, I guess I said your idea. That's crazy.
Yeah.
You added extra mileage, and there's so much you can do with that of not exploiting the gift. But like you said, media coverage, social media coverage, all the ways that you can put it out there that not only promote you, but that also promote the cause and create awareness for the cause that you're giving to.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Dave, we did a school playground sanitizing. We have a washing company, and we emailed and called each of the schools in our area. We have 3 counties, and we said we're going to choose one school in each county to do a free playground sanitation for us. So share this with your friends and have them vote for your favorite school. We had over 50,000 votes, and I think it was 2,700 shares. I mean, the thing went viral, and we still get business from it. And that was 2 years ago. It was 3 years ago we started doing. We've done it every year.
Oh, wow. So you do that on an annual basis.
We do.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
We usually do it in February for flu season, but since COVID hit, we've kind of morphed it.
It's always flu season. We don't have just a month now.
And it costs nothing to go do or any time to go sanitize the playground.
Wow, that's great.
And you get the PTAs involved, and they're sharing it. And then we got work from the public schools out of it. And we got lots of, just moms and dads wanted to have their houses washed from it.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember my mom actually passed away of cancer 15 years ago, but I remember right before she passed away, she like really wanted her house cleaned up real good, you know, and I have obviously own a window cleaning and pressure washing company. So we came in and, you know, did the whole house and pressure washed it and cleaned all the windows real nice. And I was kind of mad at myself. I'm like, man, like it feels good to give back, but like, man, I should have done that sooner for my mom. You know what I mean? I should have just done it. You know, you get stuck, at least I know I do. I get stuck on just the day to day of what we're doing. But man, like I always say, like when I'm at church or something, like goals, we were talking about goals a little while ago. Like, man, I want to give back more. So
Hmm.
I don't know. Maybe we could do.
We do one free cleaning a month,
Oh, that's good. Nice.
and it always comes back to more than make up for what you did.
Yeah.
Cool. I think I see a little halo over your head, David,
Yeah,
that I see.
those people tell lots of people what you did for them.
Yeah, that's great. Does anybody else got one they want to share? Everybody go, so you may as
To
well start.
dovetail or to ask a question about that, how do you do that practically to, you know, you had to call the schools and everything. How did you set it up to where people could nominate, and then how does that all work?
We posted a post on Facebook explaining what we were doing, and that to vote, you had to either share this, you had to do two things. You had to share the post, and you had to vote and name the school you wanted to win. After we did that day, my office staff, they called every school principal and every PTA person, because we had kept a list from previous years, so it just keeps on growing, and just called them and told them what we were doing. And so they all got involved and started sharing, and some of them sent stuff home with the kids in their folders at the end of school day.
I mean, in a practical sense, there are so many worthy nonprofits, right? We all know
Oh,
that.
yeah.
So many worthy things that you could do things for. But in a marketing sense, PTO is going to get you the best mileage. Everybody's sharing it. So that's a really smart thing, David. Like, you know,
Yeah.
people are passionate about a cause and they try to be passionate about it, but everybody's trying to outdo being the.
If it's Veterans Day or Memorial Day, we'll do we're going to clean a disabled veteran or a veteran's house for free this next month. Tell us who it should be, and let people send in nominations,
Mm,
And
it's so
that's all
great.
through Facebook.
just all through Facebook.
So Tiki, like I mean, I know like in some of the smaller towns that, you know, I have businesses in, there's all these Facebook groups that represent like communities, right?
Mhm.
So getting in Facebook groups and joining those Facebook groups are great.
We've worked really hard to get to be a member of about 75 HOA Facebook groups too.
Oh, that's look at this, man. David's dropping.
That's
Awesome.
a whole nother idea.
And that's a lot
Yeah.
of work to find those. You got to work hard to get in those Facebook groups. It's not easy.
Yeah. Then you want to make sure you like live up to your end of the deal, that everybody, you know, thinks you're the best contractor.
And it's not always about selling to them either. You know,
Yeah.
you got to mix in education and fun
Yeah.
stuff, recipes and things like that every so often.
Does anybody here know Debbie Sardone? She's in the maid services cleaning world. I know we have some maid services in our collaborate, but I don't see anybody on here that's there. She started a program, and I think it's called like Pink Cleaning or something like that. But it's a program where you sign up to go clean a house or clean the windows or do pressure washing for somebody who has terminal cancer. And you can do it once a month. You can do it, you know, however many times a year you want. But she orchestrates it like the big program. I should do the Google search, but it's Debbie Sardone. And I heard her speak one time, and man, she was just powerful. But they created this national pink cleaning, and it's, you know, you have to find somebody who has terminal cancer, and then you go provide cleaning for them. And they said like if it were my company going and doing the cleaning, or probably any of our companies, like the guys who go work, and they're just, it's like learning how to give back and just being like the gratefulness they have in their hearts of like, man, I'm not in that situation that family's in, you know. But then, you know, you're doing it for a good cause, right? I'm gonna have to look that up. All right, who else wants to share? Tiki, are you just taking notes or do you got an idea?
I don't have any big grand ideas. The one thing that we do that we're, when we hit a little slow season or slow pocket to fill our schedule is we send out an email blast through our marketing, our schedule software, and we will offer them something, offer them, free protectant for 2 rooms or, reduced dryer vent cleaning. And we usually get at least, 20 or so responses to fill our schedule, but
That's via email or text? I'm sorry.
it's email.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I know. Go ahead. Dave.
Anybody ever use Text Magic to
Yep.
send texts out with? I mean,
That's
we were slow 2 weeks ago, so we sent one out for if you have your roof wash, your siding wash, we'll wash your front sidewalk and 10 windows with it. So you're going to get the rest of the windows anyway. And that went out to our customer base. And I think we booked about $26,000 of business after we sent that out.
Yep. That's
Enough to where we
Yep.
were up 38% in January over last year.
Wow, that's great. Yeah, because people answer their text message. Not everybody answers their email. Even this show we're at, I was a speaker yesterday. And while I was speaking, I got everybody's cell phone number to text me their phone number. And then I sent an email blast in the middle of the show. I was like, hey, you need to come by our booth because we have a winner. You got to see if you're a winner. Isn't that right, Angela? Everybody starts showing up. Oh, I need to know. Did I win? Did I win? We had people all day long coming. And if I were sending
Text
me,
works.
they're not going to come, right?
Text works so much better. I mean, email, you might get a 20% open rate if you're really, really good, but text, you could be sitting in church and you're still going to look at your text, even though you shouldn't. I mean, it's just the reality.
In my car at church. I don't bring my phone into church.
Remember that when you're collecting bills too. Text to pay.
Yeah, you're right, Robert.
Big time.
Sure.
I mean,
Sometimes
you can collect up to 40. What are the numbers? The numbers are crazy. Like 40% of your uncollectible bill, and it's just because it's not convenient for them. But text is super convenient. And one of the guys that did a demo for me, I wish I had it on video. You're not going to believe it. But we set this gal up live. It's like working with QuickBooks, and all we do is set them up 10 or 15 minutes with a follow-up. They don't change anything about what they do. But he was demoing it for a customer, and he said she put in her toughest client that he owed her 40 grand or something. And while they were there and doing the demo, they hear the bling, right? The ding, the
money.
Yeah, and he paid his bill. So text to pay, there's a ton of services out there.
Yeah.
But it works real good. It's a real good.
In my CRM in my business, like you can email the invoice,
Right.
and I'll email it and I'll change the subject to way past due invoice. Like I make it seem really bad, right?
But see, you don't have to do any of this with this.
Yeah.
You do that at the first setup that takes maybe 20 minutes, and then it's all done automatic. So
yeah, what I was going to say is after I send that email, then I have a text option, and then I text them twice. So I text them the invoice once, and I text it to them again, like, "Hey, I didn't just text you once; I texted you twice. This invoice is past due." Like
I really want my money.
Go ahead, Robert.
For you, that's great.
I used to go through my receivables, and like by the time I started, so I got through the end of them, and then I go back and look at my dashboard. There'd be like $15,000. I'm like, oh, that was worth an hour of my time.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Yeah, it comes in fast. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, Robert, do you have an idea where you've done something in your business that's generated 10 grand or more?
Well, I've generated a lot of money for other people. I like helping other businesses. So if I have customers and they've given me cards, I'll walk out. And one guy that I remember, it was a tree guy, and it was in a florist. And I was talking to the florist about credit card processing at the time. And she says, well, it's all specialty through Teleflora and all this. And I said, yeah, I know, but you have a terminal on top of your desk and we can, and she goes, okay, well, we'll have you come back. But I gave her some cards. I said, here's some cards of my clients that you may be able to use. Well, there was a guy standing behind me, and this guy got like a $2,500 tree trim out of it, So it wasn't for me, but I did that for him. So I just wouldn't give him back, you know. But I get phone calls when I leave my cards. I got a guy the other day, he's gonna do the ERC program with me. Signed him up on Monday. They did the appointment over. No, I signed him up last week. Scheduled the appointment for Monday. He had the appointment, and now he's done his questionnaire and all that. So the paperwork's in process. So, you know, I mean, it's not a lot, but it's additional income. You know, it's a side hustle for my regular stuff.
Oh, nice.
It won't get you 10,000 at one time, but if you have a really good, robust referral program for your customers, you know,
Yeah.
we'll do. I think last year we did. I think it was 18% of our business came from referrals from our current customers.
Yeah. I mean, even with Collaborate, we have a referral program. If you guys refer somebody, you get a month for free. We have somebody who works with us in Canada. His name's Brock, and he signed up. I don't think he even paid for service for like 4 or 5 months. He kept giving us more and more customers. So yeah, referral programs work amazing, right?
Dane has done the same thing. I just want to point that out. He's here on the call. Dane's been a good referrer as well. So
Yeah, Dane too. Absolutely. All right. So Robert, do you do ERTC credits? Is that what you do?
Yeah. That's one of the things, because my business is about profits. Now, this isn't true profit because you're not selling anything to make the profit.
Yeah.
Okay. But in general, and here's a tip for you guys. I mean, I know some of you are adding value, and maybe you're saving people money, or you're generating more business, so it increases. Take your monthly that you're going to increase his business or reduce his cost, and let's say for me, a low amount is 1,000 that I save them or grow their business. 1,000 is low. So there's 12 months in a year, 1,000 a month, 12,000 a year. I'm looking across the board, and I'm looking at people in very, you know, from young to my age, right? So, but some of these people, it's going to be 30 years before they retire.
Yeah.
So if that's 12 grand and it's 30 years before you retire, there's 360,000 extra dollars. It's just a different way to present it to them. Instead of trying to sell them something, just say, listen, let me show you what I'm going to do. I'm going to grow your revenue by $1,000 a month. You take out your cost of goods sold, give me that number.
Yeah.
Whatever that number is, multiplied by 12, and then whatever that number is, multiplied by 30. I don't have cost of goods sold because I have savings generally. And then the ERTC is just a no-brainer because it's just found money. You know, if you have 5 or more with us, it's 5. Well, with me, I also have a company that'll do 4 or less employees, but they're very good. And it's a big, the thing has changed so much that you really need somebody that knows what they're talking about, because so many of the payroll people want you to have shut down, or they won't do your paperwork, or they want you to have lost so much money, or they won't do, but that's not what the IRS has said. And we have all their paperwork, all their white papers, all that stuff.
You know what, Robert? I just heard about 2 weeks ago. I was talking to it's ERTC, right?
Well, there's ERC grant program, ERTC, and tax credit, and all that. Yeah.
So I was speaking with a guy, and like my company only went down in revenue 1 quarter, but I also have a government contract that literally spent 50% less than they did the previous years.
But are you being paid by the government?
What's that?
If you're being paid by the government for any of your work, then you don't qualify for the ERTC.
So like a city contract?
Well, I'd have to get double check that, but I had one of my very first clients was a home-based healthcare for elderly. They had 38 employees. They were going to get about 3 million back, but they couldn't, because they were getting funded partially by the federal government.
Oh,
I
no,
don't know if yours would be considered funded or not.
they were just government contracts. So like a city.
Oh, no, that may not. That you'd have to see the whole point is you have to talk to the payroll accountants and payroll lawyers.
Yeah,
They will know.
I got you.
I know enough. I mean, they give us a ton of stuff, a ton of information. And what's happening now is we had one guy who was completely skeptical. He owns just like a auto body and paint. But he got, his first check was 61,000. The next day he gets a letter from the IRS. Sorry, we made a mistake. We owe you 30,000 more. And so he was all happy. Now he became a referral partner. And now he's already enrolled 3 people.
Nice. Very nice.
Nice for him and nice for them, because he's like, you guys treated me really well. And that's what's happening with at the CEO level. I'm talking at, you know, what do they call it? The C level, like
Yeah,
CEO, CFO. Yeah. Yeah. I saw a CFO on one of our calls. He had 7 businesses he managed for one very wealthy person, and they got back like 6 million. And I thought that was a lot. And then we have a call every Wednesday at 9. And today he said, we got one company back in one single check, 22 million.
Jeez. Yeah, I
But
heard.
you and I are going to get 90, 100 grand, maybe 200. It's like it's our nest egg on steroids. You just throw that in there,
Yeah.
and hopefully you don't need it, right? And then maybe you could do something nice like all you guys are talking about, but then also don't forget the marketing part of it, right? Like she said, don't forget. I wish I had it. Like you said that. Yeah, you said, well, I'm glad I did it for my mom, but I wish I did it earlier. But then I bet you're also saying, Name, why didn't I, get the word out about, hey, I'll do this for one person a month or whatever,
Yeah, so the ERTC is like right there's a $10,000 or more idea. If you haven't gotten money from the ERTC, like you definitely check into it for real.
Well, and if you took PPP, it's between 10 and 11,000 per W-2. If you didn't take the PPP, it's closer to 20 grand.
Oh, that's a lot of money.
So
There you
some people didn't
Right.
take the PPP, they didn't know how.
Yeah,
They're
either way.
busy working and they never wound up doing it because they didn't need it.
Yeah.
But then here comes Rob, or here comes, David or anybody, and it says, hey, have you filed your paperwork yet? That's the question. Have you filed your paperwork yet to see if you qualify for the PPP? I mean, for the ERC? And they're like, what's the ERC? Or yeah, I've already done it and I got my check. I had one of those too, big restaurant. I was bummed. That was a great big roadhouse, man. I thought, oh, I'll get that guy. And he was a good friend of mine, but he'd already done it because he's on top of it. He's
Yeah.
on it and he's bringing in the money for the company. He's all about that, so.
Yeah, that's great.
Help anybody out with it, let me know.
Yeah, that's great information. Like there's somebody we can collaborate, guys. Robert.
There you go.
Great information. Does anybody else got a good idea or thoughts or something they've done in their business? Tim or Steve, Donna, Nicholas?
Hey, it's
Angela,
Donna.
you said
Donna?
wait to the end.
We clear? Sorry.
Yes. Yep,
Okay.
nope.
Well, one of the things that when the hurricane hit in Fort Myers area on the west coast of Florida, we hooked up the travel trailer and we went over there to see what we could do just to help and, going with the churches and just do some different things. And one of the things that we had seen was it was a group of contractors that they were just kind of throwing a benefit, and there was, food, they had local vendors come in for food and stuff like that. And actually Eric has talked to me. My sister has 12 kids and they're all musicians and all that kind of stuff. And so we're actually looking to get one of her kids to come down and perform. And he really wants to put on a benefit and, just kind of continue the trend of that, because number one, we're all networking, with others in that area. And, it's establishing, hey, we're really here to help. Yes, excuse me, we're a business, but there's a heart here. I mean, Eric has a huge heart for ministry. We had a situation where there was a young lady and her daughter had brain cancer, and they lived in a mobile home. And so this was a while ago, and we weren't, had a lot in the funds, but we basically, all they did was help us to pay for some of the supplies. We didn't do any markup on it, and we did all of our labor for free. All of our guys went and volunteered to help, and just, at the time we couldn't pay for everything we wanted to. But, they came in like, hey, we're going to do a regular deal. I'm like, no. And so that's where we're at. But that's what we want to do, is we want to start doing some different benefits, and just listening to what y'all were talking about. about, doing the free giveaways and, and stuff like that. Because when you really do have a good, true heart for ministry, that really piggybacks on being able to go in and really help some people.
I think too, Donna, I think you could even put the word out there and you pay for a food truck and just tell people, hey, we're having free food at this food truck, come to our benefit. And then you can donate whatever you think your meal should be worth. And then people are probably gonna be over generous, and then the word will spread like wildfire, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And just, good people getting together and, just seeing where the needs are. And we actually have left our travel trailer over there so we can keep going back over to the West Coast. We found a place that we could park it for minimal cost, and we're able to, whenever we can, we just go back over there. And see, now what's happening is so many people are fighting with the insurance companies. They actually set up a website where people can just go and get help, because they don't know what to do. And, and that's been very, very successful, simply because people, they've already been devastated. And then they go to the people who are supposed to be helping them, and then they get nothing, or, they're so desperate, and it's really hard to find good, honest people. Sadly, they're so few and far between. And that's, where we're at. That's where our heart is. And we're really trying to help.
Nice. That's fantastic.
So that's where we're at. Lots of cooking, lots of music, and lots of fun for everybody. So it benefits a lot of people.
Everybody else want to speak up? Anybody else have some thoughts? I got another one. You guys want to hear another idea I have?
Yeah.
Hiring a virtual assistant to help in your office. You want to talk about that a little bit, Angela?
Yeah, I was going to do that, and then you did that.
You were saying I stopped. Sorry.
Well, yes. So 2 things, really identifying what it means to work in your, what I call unique genius, to spend the most time doing what you do best, your strength zone, what fuels your fire, and what gets you closer to your mission. So what aligns with those 3 things? I'm going to say them again because I think they're so important. So what are you really good at that you do best, only you can do? What fuels your fire, doesn't burn you out, and what gets you closer to your mission and vision. And if what you're doing in your daily task doesn't align with those 3 things, how can you delegate or delete it?
Can you send us all an email?
Yes, I can.
We have
We have a whole workshop on Unique Genius coming up on a Collaborate Live too, but and we will send it on an email workbook following this. But it's so important that it's all of these, because we can be really good at something, but as you all know, as business owners, if something sucks the life out of you and burns your energy, it destroys your capacity to do other things in your business and be there for those people in your life that matter most. And there can be things that we're really good at that we think we're doing. We're like mastering the task, right? Dave and I talked about last night. We both love to cross things off the checklist. So I'm a maximizer on the Gallup strength things, but I can get a little bit too obsessed with crossing things off the to-do list, and they didn't necessarily get me closer to my big vision, but it made me happy that day because I crossed things off the to-do list. And we can all be that as business owners, right? Like, today was awesome. I did 25 things on my to-do list, but did it get me any closer to my goal? Absolutely not. So the first step in virtual assistant is that unique genius evaluation of, it's an exercise. And yes, we'll take you through it in another class, and I'll send it in an email of evaluating what you're doing every day, and if it does align in those, and then taking the next step and absolutely hiring a virtual assistant that takes all those things off your plate. Because it not only frees up your time, to do the things that you do best, but most importantly, it frees up your energy.
And I
The
think we
big,
can put that information up on the Collaborate Live page. So that
Yeah.
the biggest question I've heard people ask about getting a virtual assistant is, what am I going to get them to do? I mean, they're like, I hear everybody talk about it, but I don't understand what they would possibly do. And
So
then
that's
where do you find one that's decent? Or the questions.
I
that you're
can
all
I
the
can
time.
help you with both of those questions. So one is this exercise. It's the most important thing you can do, and it is the unique genius exercise, and it is outlining everything you do day to day for a week, and then you circle, highlight, underline the 3 things I just said. Strength zone fuels your fire, gets you closer to your mission and vision, and then everything that's not on that list, it is how are we going to delegate and delete that? And then that, you're right. Everyone has that. So many people hire a virtual assistant and then they have them and they don't delegate anything to them. So one thing is going through the exercises and learning, and I coach on that, how to get them, like how to let go and how to let them be the best support for your business and create results. And then second, besides being part of this Collaborate team, I have a business that is virtual assistants, that we have a great team of experts that are vetted, and we help you with that. So it's a twofold thing. One, you have to learn yourself how to let go, how to train, how to do that process. And then second, you're right. You shouldn't just find one on your own on Upwork, because that's like playing the slot machine, I say.
I would agree with that. Right, Travis? We've hired people on Upwork. Some of them work, some of them, most of them don't. And then they work on Upwork, they work on their own schedule too. They don't work on your schedule.
No, so yeah, we have a team. It's part of a culture. It's part of a thing, and yeah, we can talk about that more. But it's
And you can do virtual assistants seasonally too, right?
you can do virtual assistant seasonally. Yes.
Biggest question I'm asking for is because we started doing Christmas lights this year and just knocked it out of the park. But I mean, we did 15% of our total business for the year in 8 weeks for the whole company. And next year we're going to do triple that, I'm sure. And I'm just trying to, my office staff just can't keep up with it. It was just overwhelming
So yes, you
for
can do.
a few weeks.
Yeah, you can do that. Yeah, as well.
Okay.
If you're into holiday lighting, are you going to Clipicon?
I am.
I'll be there. I'm speaking. So
Oh,
let's connect.
okay. That's right. They just sent out the speaker list today.
Aren't you the keynote,
I'm
Angela?
not the keynote. No, I'm the speaker.
Speaking. Anyway, she's kind of important. I'm gonna give a shout out to Nick, who's on. What's up, brother? He's in his muscle shirt. He's just getting back from the gym. It's good to see you, dude.
Yeah. Sorry for
So-
being late. Good to see you
Oh.
guys.
Hey, dude, gym's important, man. It makes me feel like I need to go right now. So
Get after it.
yeah. Hey, so you used to be in BBB, right? And we used to do the
Yes,
10,000 ideas. So we're kind of doing that here. We're shooting ideas off of each other of ways to generate money in your business. Do you have an idea that you've done in your business that's generated 10 to 20 grand?
Oh, putting me on the spot. I don't know what we've gone over. I don't know what we're in. I mean,
Let's see. We
Say again?
talked about ERTC credits, offering services for free to a nonprofit, sanitizing home schools and stuff, Facebook groups. Debbie Sardone's, it's called Cleaning for a Reason. I looked it up. Cleaning homes for people with terminal cancer. And then Donna discussed about, like, there was a hurricane, so her company went down to Florida and really gave to the people and helped do contractor work that people are waiting around for insurance money and stuff, and also like benefits with like a food truck and stuff like that. So anyway, those were kind of the ones we discussed, and then Angela was discussing virtual assistants.
got it. No, we haven't really done anything fancy like that. We've been running status quo with just, you know, we've got our sales guy and our marketing, and that's about it. And we just let leads come in. So the last few years especially has been nothing fancy. So unfortunately, I don't have much to offer there. But
However, having a sales guy can probably generate at least 10 grand, right?
he brought in 461,000 last year. So,
There you go. Get a
so
sales
yeah, that paid off.
3 of them.
Yeah.
There you go. Get a sales guy. Love it.
Yep.
Love it.
Yeah.
Do we have
Did anybody say sign up for Collaborate Pros?
No. I think
See,
you're a Collaborate customer. So
I'm an ex-Collaborate customer. Soon
Yeah.
to be again.
yeah, I know. I got to get you on a call. I'm back in Arizona next week, so I'm going to hit you up.
Perfect. Yeah, need to talk to you.
I would say one thing coming even from not owning a business, but just managing a sales team is if you have a few salespeople, give them a very specific challenge, like go get a church. Like I want you to really focus on churches and like really focus on one small area of the business or a school or something like that during a short period of time, maybe have a contest with that. When I was in like corporate world, like getting very specific and time constraints on something you want to have accomplished on the outside for sales is really successful, generally speaking.
It's good. I
Yeah,
like that.
Have any of you read the book Door to Door Millionaire? It's a super good read for doing cold calling. Like you're doing an estimate for a customer, how to approach the neighbors' houses. Super, super good. I hate to read. I read it in 2 days.
Yeah.
I just couldn't put it down. And I hate to read.
Or like challenging your sales team to do that too, like saying, hey, read this.
Oh, I did. We passed it around. We all underline stuff, write notes, and then we all can compare and see what really comes out to each other. So we just pass it around.
Wow, that's great info, David.
What was that called? How to what?
Door to Door Millionaire.
Has anybody seen any of these apps where you're done your call and you go back in the car? What I used to do is I used to write it down. Name, address, the whole nine, right? Because it was keeping track of mileage and the whole bit. And then I'd get to my CRM and I'd have a stack of yellows. I used a yellow notepad. And I'd be here for an hour and a half, putting it in my CRM. Now I'm like 35 seconds. I take a picture of the business card and I say, talk to Tony at the restaurant. He's thinking about doing the ERC. He has 4 wait staff and 2 cooks. Follow up on Tuesday, put it on my calendar. Follow up via email, follow up via phone. 35 seconds. Imagine, I mean, somebody's got a team. I wasn't even going to bring it up. But if somebody's got a team, that would make a big difference, I would think, for them. It made a huge difference for me. 2 hours at night that I don't have to spend.
What's the name of the app?
It's hammertechllc.com, I think. Hang on, I can get that for you.
Hammer Tech.
Hammer, like a hammer, and then tech, like TECH, LLC. I'm pretty sure it's LLC. Let me type it in, see if that's what I get.
Anybody use Chirp? Chirp is a software that integrates with most CRMs. We use it with House Call Pro, and it does all your follow-up for you. We basically follow up with them every Chirps with 2 I's, CHIIRP.
So that's the same thing, voice thing where you put it in voice-wise?
You know, you don't do a voicemail, but you put it in your CRM, and then after you've done it, it reminds the people when your sales guy is going to come do the estimate. It follows up if they don't sell with it. With endless, sometimes we'll choose a text message to go to them, a voicemail to go to them, a email to go to them, and they get follow-ups until they say no.
Well,
So
you might check with David because they do integrate with most CRMs on this thing. So I don't even use a CRM. I use their CRM because it's so easy.
And David Chirp, the guy was at the huge convention.
He was,
right?
Yeah, he was.
I remember talking to him. He spoke. He
works.
had a speaking session right before I went up there. But yeah,
it works really, really well.
Oh, that's good. It's good to know. It's really good to know. Chirp, CHIIRP.
Yes.
Cool.
I could use a chirp on my calendar on my iPhone to keep reminding me of my appointments until I acknowledge it. I wonder if it works on that.
Well, you know what you do is you hook up a shot collar that's Bluetooth to your phone. And if you don't do it, that's a great invention. I would actually buy that. It might motivate me to get some stuff done on my calendar.
Maybe you don't need a
There you
collar,
go.
you just need one of those things that looks like a microphone, but it hits your skin, so it's kind of discreet.
Yeah. No, I walk around with a shot collar. People will be like, what is that? I'll be like, it keeps me on track. Leave me alone. I love that idea. I'm gonna go invent that.
Yeah, I put the link to the book, the $1 Million Book for Amazon in the chat, if anyone wants it. I couldn't find the app. Oh, there it is, the Chirp. Dane put the Chirp app in there.
Thanks, Nick.
And but I couldn't find the Hammer Tech one.
And Chirp will also do,
I think it goes by another name. It's Voze, VOZE. They just changed the name. It used to be Telenotes, Hammer Tech. I don't know. Anyways, it works great for me, but it does integrate with CRMs. So
Chirp will do everything Text Magic does too for sending out your texts, but for a
Except
fraction,
won't do
for a
voice.
fraction of what Text Magic costs.
Well, this is not cheap. Yeah, it's $135 a month. So,
That's cool. Yeah.
but it worked. I mean, I'd pay double that. I mean, honest to God, 2 hours a day out of my day that I don't have to type that crap in. I'm so jacked about that.
Amen to that. That's awesome.
Yeah, it is pretty neat. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
What was the other one that does stuff similar to Chirp?
It's called Voze, VOZE. You'll be able to find that in Telenotes also. The guy that got me introduced to it was Hammer Tech. That's how I found it. I'm stumbling across a lot of things, and when I saw something like that, I thought, well, I'll try it. And the other thing is, if you're a manager, now you see, okay, you see how many calls each rep made, because they are putting it into it's transcribing everything, by the way, and you get an email the next day about what you transcribed into the system. And then you check your calendar for the follow-up, and it's there, or check your email and it'll tell you, it appears on the calendar, but it'll tell you via email that they put it on the calendar. So there's no way you're going to drop the ball. I mean, you know what I mean? You're just notified.
I think I saw that. I think I saw that program you're talking about, and I was at a roofing convention, and the guys were just raving about it. Like
35 seconds per call. In my car, get in there, put my little thing in, take a picture of the business card, and then I put the memo in, and then they transcribe it. And it's like, now I got to figure, they said I'm doing something wrong. I'm putting them all under one business name. I'm supposed to do it different. I was so excited. I went in there and I'm putting them all under Profits Make. And they're like, no, you got to put them under the name of the business you called on. I'm like, that makes sense, but I didn't know that.
It's Voze, BOZE.
V is in Victor.
Oh, VOZE.
Z, yeah. And then the other one, the old name is Telenotes. And the guy that I signed up with was the Hammer. No, it's I don't know what it is.
I just found it. It says
Hammer
Voze.
Sales Pros or something like that. I don't know. Anyway,
CRM.telenotes.com.
yeah.
Right there. There we go. I stuck it in the chat. I don't know if anybody's looking at the chat.
It's pretty cool, man. I'm telling you, you guys, I mean, if you got a team, and now I don't have a team yet, but when I have a team, I'll be able to kind of figure out, like, I'm like, okay, I want to do 20 calls a day. My average is only 9. And it's in black and white. So
No.
I'm stepping up myself, right, to go.
So it can set goals for you and keep you
Yeah,
on.
well, you get it the next day, and it's like, oh, there's 9. Then I'm like, okay, here's 15, but there's 5, and then the average is 9 a day.
Well, you need to hire a salesperson is what you need to do. There's your $10,000 idea right there.
That's a great idea. Yeah, that's a great idea. I don't know much about hiring people, but I've got some pretty good products. So
Yeah.
I'm supposed to do that. Where do you hire on those hiring that they advertise all the time?
Indeed.
Indeed, and some of these other ones, are those the places to go to hire people?
I find good people on Indeed. I've never hired a salesperson there. Nick, where'd you find your sales guy?
We actually promoted one of our techs to a sales guy. So he does the bidding as well. So he needed to know the industry and know the jobs, how to do it. So, and we knew the day we hired him that he was going to move up to salesman though. He just had that attitude. So it's obviously, you can't put anybody in a sales position, but that's what we did and it worked out great. So.
Wow, that's good. That VA thing's a great idea too. My son was referred to an individual who lived in his town. So the VA does all this stuff, like she'll follow him around. He's a personal trainer. She takes videos and posts them and does social media and all this stuff. But oh, by the way, I need somebody to watch my baby for an hour. Can you watch him for an hour? So if you can find somebody local, I highly recommend it, because my son is like, Dad, this is off the chain. I haven't been able to find that yet, but I've been looking. But I might think about getting a rep too.
All right, so we're gonna start wrapping this up, but Angela is gonna start discussing what we're gonna. Look how excited she's getting. We were talking about this last night. So Angela's got we've got something awesome for you guys. It's the next 3 weeks, right, Angela?
The next 3 weeks, yes, we are going to be going over Traction, the book Traction, and how to implement the EOS system. If you haven't heard of this, more books you can read or listen to. As a business owner, Traction is great. The simplified version of how to implement it in your business for employees and everyone. The book is called What the Heck is EOS? It is an amazing entrepreneurial system. I think EOS stands for Entrepreneurial Operating System, and it is incredible on so many facets. We refer to it so many times, Dave and I, in conversations and different networks and things that we are in. People pay tens of thousands of dollars to go to EOS implementation or EOS training, and we are excited to bring you. And I'm very serious about that. Like, companies pay tens of thousands of dollars to do EOS training. And I have done EOS implementation with several companies, and we're going to bring a lot of great people on that have implemented EOS, and it's going to be a 3-part series on what EOS is, what the entrepreneurial operating system is, no matter what state you are in your business, whether you are just beginning, and how this will be how you grow your business, or how you're going to get your operating system back on track. It is a difference maker, and we discussed the plan and the people and everything. We're so excited this is going to be an incredible 3-week.
I'm excited. Hey, Angela, is there a book that we should all purchase before next week's show that we can follow along with?
So I see Karen's already put it in the comments. As business owners, I would really recommend reading or listening to the entire book Traction. Traction is the big overview for business owners. If you want a simplified version, that's a tiny short read. It's called What the Heck is EOS? What the Heck is EOS? If you Google them or look at their reviews on Amazon, What the Heck is EOS is more meant for when you're going to implement this and you have a larger company, 10, whatever. It's meant for your employees, team members, to understand what the heck is EOS and what the heck are we doing. But if you have time, I would read or listen to Traction, because it is the bigger CEO level of how this all works. However, What the Heck is EOS is the Cliff Notes, I would say, of Traction. But read those if you can. Read one of those if you can come before next week. But
I read Traction and I took pages of notes, and I just opened it up because I had it on the notes on my phone here. And just one thing I wrote down was, if you don't know something, ask. The leader the leader who always has to be right is not a good leader. There are always better ways. Be open-minded. A parachute only works if it's open.
Yep. David,
we talked about a lot of those things when we just discussed EOS on Dan's call today. So yeah, we're excited to bring people who have successfully implemented it and really believe in this system. And like I said, I've helped businesses of all sizes implement it, and it will be a difference maker, but commit to all 3 weeks.
Cool. You gonna raise your hand and commit? Anybody here? Gonna show up next week and start Traction EOS? I know
next week at this meeting, at this one. It's not a separate one, it's this one.
This meeting.
This one. Yep. We're gonna do this for the next 3 weeks. Yeah.
I'm super pumped about it. I've read Traction before. It was several years ago, and I am 100% guilty for not implementing it. I know I took bits and pieces and changed my business a fair amount, but I'm really excited to get into this. So,
And it isn't easy to implement. You can read the book and then not study how to implement it. So I'm excited because I've done the trials and errors of implementing it and coaching several businesses of all scales and different sizes through it. And yay, here we go.
all right, exciting stuff, guys. Thanks for coming today, and I hope to see you guys all next week. Get the book, read it, or get the What the Heck is EOS and read it. I'll see you guys next week. God bless, guys.
Thanks so much for being
Thanks. Yep.
on. Invite your friends next week.
That's great. That's great. I'm glad she's so excited. That's great, Angela. That's awesome.
Thank you.
Hi, Karen.
All right, see you guys. Nice hanging out with you guys tonight.
Bye, thanks.
Good to see you guys.
Doesn't look too broken.